Alrighty, howdy neighbors and welcome back to First Snow. Last time we got to, what's her name, Eileen's house, like her actual house, and met her family. Her little sister isn't the biggest fan of us, and neither are her parents, so you know what? There we go. Anyway, let's continue. It's 10:30 in the evening, going by the clock in the corner of the broadcast. Adulthood's weird. Now that I can go to sleep whenever I want without my parents disapproving, I dutifully do so at a reasonable time. Anyway, so I can be fresh for school. The fact I'm actually watching the news nowadays, too, is strange. Bored of the reports about trucks being stuck after sliding around on the roads. I let myself flop back onto the soft blankets as it drones on. Lacking the energy to do much else, I lazily stare upward. Yet another unfamiliar ceiling above me. Feels like everything is constantly changing these days. This one's kind of on you, though. You invited yourself to the shindig. My old home sure didn't have a guest bedroom, let alone one that's so nicely furnished. I was thinking I'd be squeezing into Eileen's bed, not that I'd have minded that at all. For all the lovely things she has, though, Eileen seems to be intentionally trying to distance herself from her parents. I don't understand it at all. Not one dinner told me everything that I needed to know. She might have told me not to pry into her life, but it's hard to imagine what's right in front of my face. I quickly shoved myself up at the sound of the opening door sliding across the carpet. Sup, girlie? With a gentle touch, Eileen gingerly closes the door behind her. I thought everyone would be asleep by now, but maybe I should have expected her of all people to still be up.
Eileen.
She puts a finger over her lips as she turns back, before walking up, climbing out of the bed and facing me as I twist around. The two of us end up sitting in the center. Shouldn't you be sleeping? Same goes for you. She has me there. Far from the quiet, feeling awkward. Found myself smiling at our secret rendezvous. Feels like we're kids having sleepover. Too bad the movie's just news instead of some horror movie where we snuck past our parents. You did that? Once. My friends were so freaked out we went back to the usual horrible romance stuff. There's nothing wrong with romance movies. It depends on the romance movies. Some of them hurt. Her face makes it abundantly clear there's a difference of opinion that'd never be bridged. I have to admit, there's one thing different back then too. I read, cause when I read, my eyes, let's say hello to my cursor, hello. It goes from here to here. So it went, Eileen's body is really hard, did sneak into the bedroom, and I was like, what the fuck? I just could not read it. So when I have to pause for a couple minutes is because I keep reading this, and then I go down. Or I read, and then I go back, and then I read, and then I go back, and then, so it's an ongoing saga of my inability to read. But anyway, let's continue. I have to admit, there was one thing different to back then too. Eileen's body is really hard to ignore when we're like this. As much as I tried to distract myself from the subject, she did sneak into my bedroom at night. I was wrong. Nothing, it's just, you're really pretty. Often I catch her being bashful, but I think this might finally be one of those times. My moment of victory is brief, though. with Eileen's quick movement toward me, taking me all the more off guard. Unable to make sense of the girl suddenly lunging at me, the both of us are sent falling backward into the soft mattress. I am so afraid of where this is gonna go. Oh no! Fear consumes my life. It takes a couple of seconds to collect myself and work out what's happened. Time seeming to stop as I stare, as I'm most staring upward at the pair of emerald eyes above me. I'm pinned. You think. You should know. A brief attempt to right myself ends in little more than a couple of weak jerks. Eileen holding my arms to the thick sheets with her body weight. Silence reigns, my vision filled with her face looking downwards. I have no idea what to say, as my heart beats wildly in my chest. Yet she doesn't say a word.
Eileen, what are you... I missed you.
How am I supposed to respond to that? Were her face any different, I'd think it an invitation. But there's a sincerity there that takes me off guard. I wonder how often I've seen her face, or anyone's, from this close. And for so long, I can't help but stare upward, trying my best to read that face I so often can't. As I do, though, I realize something. She's doing just the same. Maybe she's scared of forcing me to do something I don't want to do, or afraid of getting too close too fast. Maybe she's simply like I am, unused to being looked at this intently. Either way, she isn't leering over me. Eileen's genuinely unsure of what to do next. Whatever the reason, I can't help but smile a little.
Did I say something wrong?
Not yet.
I was just thinking how you're still the same as ever. What's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, that was a weird thing to say. I answer confusion by lifting my chin a little, an invitation. Not that I can move much more. Geese. Without any further prompting needed, she presses her lips to mine with a satisfied sigh. Isn't long before— Nope! I'm out. I am out. Then several sharp thuds against the door ring out. My entire body freezes, my heart nearly jumping out of my chest. The both of us freeze up as I break from our kissing and look over, hoping against hope that the door doesn't creak open.
It's getting late, Allison.
Why now of all times? I can only thank my lucky stars that we've been quiet. But being one door handle turned from being seen like this is far too close for comfort.
Right. Sorry, I'll go to bed soon.
It was remarkably more natural than I thought I'd be able to pull off.
Thank you. If you need anything, just ask. Sleep well.
Thanks. Good night.
As the footsteps go down the hallway, both of us heave a great sigh. It was completely gone as the both of us look at each other. I suppose this is one benefit of Eileen having her own apartment. I don't want to know that. I don't need to know that. I mean, I guess for those that partake, it would be better to have your own areas. But it's just, I don't know. Feels weird to read. I run my hands through my hair as I settle myself down as Eileen sits back on the bed, wisely letting a few minutes go by before trying to slip out of my room. I almost missed living alone. Well, that was annoying. See you tomorrow, I guess. Have a good sleep. With that, she slipped off to bed, quietly shuffling across the room before pausing a moment before turning the handle. As I picked myself up to wish her good night, she curtly turns back. To be honest, I think you look really pretty too. Hell yeah! Validation. I didn't manage to form a reply before she skitters out of the room. Then again, my scarlet cheeks probably did the job for me. Rubbing sleep in my eyes, I slowly dragged myself to the living room. A restrained yawn heralds my entrance. I thought I might have trouble getting to sleep in an unfamiliar place. After everything that happened, I crashed almost immediately. I really like that scarf on her. I feel like the combination of the earmuffs and the scarf, very cute on her. A+. Looks like Eileen's family are early risers. There's from the kitchen, presumably being from her parents. The television blares away just ahead. Fire's crackling would make it quite a cozy scene, enough for being interspersed with cartoon voices. Eve sits on the couch as I glance down, already bundled up in her winter outfit like a puffy ball of clothing. Eagerly watching morning cartoons, her legs swing away as she happily munches on a bowl of brightly colored cereal. I can't help but smile, reminded of my own childhood. The snow and the setting might be different, but the innocence is just the same. I forgot what this simple experience felt like. Take a seat beside the oversized hamster, Eve barely acknowledging my presence before Eileen pops in from the kitchen, calls out to me. Looks like the coffee in her hand hasn't kicked in quite yet.
Allison.
Want any food? There's toast and cereal if you want any. I don't usually eat breakfast. Thank you, though. Shrugging response, the tired Eileen heads back out. Despite settling down to watch Eve's cartoons with her, I can't help but eavesdrop as the conversation between Eileen and her mother can be heard from the other room.
Any plans for the day?
I was going to study for school.
Real studying? Not just drawing?
The cartoon's loud exclamations punctuate the short silence that forms Eileen's reply.
Should have known. I've seen your marks from high school. I just want you to do well. Maybe you can have Allison help. She seems to have a good head on her shoulders.
It's kind of like it's palpable.
She's been helping me with my math already.
Like you can taste it. Ugh.
And here I was worrying about who you might end up with for a girlfriend.
You know I can handle myself fine. Why worry?
Because I'm your mother. That's why.
Eileen doesn't exactly sound buoyed by the comments, but I have to admit that the praise is nice to hear. It is a bit sad to hear her mother doesn't approve of her pursuing art, though. I wonder how tempered this exchange is, to then keeping things together since I'm around.
Oh, morning, you two.
Going out, dear?
Just swinging into town to grab paper and milk. Want to come along?
Eve, Allison, we're heading out for a moment.
Okay.
We're going by your favorite shop, Eve.
I'm coming. She drops her almost finished bowl onto the coffee table in haste, so hastily that it nearly spills, skittering out the door with a faint pitter-patter on the carpet. It's amazing how much energy kids have. Eileen's parents give a short farewell as they escort Eve out, the go racing out straight to the car. To be a child again, filled with excitement for the next car trip or television show. Why are we not talking about the fact that she left her bowl on the table? Please, oh please, clean up after yourself. With her family out the door, Eileen watches them drive off before heading over. I shift over a little as she drops onto the couch, setting her coffee down with somewhat more care than her sister's cereal. I give a loud stretch. Me when my bones crack? I give a loud stretch, but rather than being out of tiredness, it's more to calm myself as my heart starts beating in anticipation. We are finally alone, for real this time. Look over to Eileen. It's obvious she has the same idea as she turns off the television. Want to pick up where we left off last night? Gotta say no! Really. I want to, but isn't it kind of early for this? Just to think that one through. It'll wake us up. I'm not given a chance to respond as she presses her lips to mine. Not that I particularly wanted to argue the fact. This will likely be the last time we can share a moment like this for a good while. I guess we're outside. We just teleported. The snow makes a satisfying sound as I pat it down, each handful making the sphere before me a little bit bigger. I'm surprised how much physical work putting a snowman together is, but this is my first time making one this size. Standing out on the front lawn in the cold early morning, I keep patiently patting away at my creation, slowly but surely building him up. I've been wanting to make a snowman for a while now, but between moving, studying, and hanging out with others, there just hasn't been much time. While I might have wanted to keep lazing around with Eileen, her family probably won't take much longer to get back, and she wanted to keep practicing her art. If nothing else, at least we're both a lot more awake now. It's rather nice to be out here, despite the cold, and given some much-needed time to unwind. I think I'm living up to the expectations of Eileen's family. But living in another's home under the gaze of strangers is still stressful. Not that I'm alone out here. The odd squirrel flits about in the distance between the trees. The birds can be heard chirping away from the pines. I wonder if Eileen, for her love of the outdoors, appreciates the sounds of nature around here. Even if you're the only person around, you're never really alone. That is a threat if I've ever heard one. The air is nice here too. Fresh, with just a hint of pine wafting from the trees. It's only when a car door clangs shut behind me that I realize I've become so distracted with my surroundings. Her father makes idle mention of how little traffic they encountered as they pass into the house, while her mother guessing that the cars might be going in the direction of the city instead. I lean busts out of the car after them, who's stopping to spy at what I'm up to. Ooh, a snowman! Yep, never had time to make one back home. Want to build one too? Yeah? Needing no further prompting, she enthusiastically rushes past me and crouches down, pushing together snow with her tiny gloved hands. God, I hate the feeling of gloves. I think I might be not the only, but one of the few people that no matter what type of glove I have, I don't like the feeling. Which is weird because I can wear like rings and other stuff just fine. But gloves, for some reason, I don't like it. I don't get it. That's fine. The two of us start working away, with her snowman slowly starting to take form next to mine. There's almost a therapeutic feel to it all, relaxing outside as I see the large snowman coming together with each little step. Even Eve seems to have quieted down, focused wholly on her work. Maybe this is a bit what sculpture is like. Maybe this is a bit what sculpture is like. It's satisfying to build something with your own hands and see an object form where there was nothing before. Looking over at Eve's snowman as I go, I'm impressed at how quickly she's managed to get something together. The slightly lopsided figure, roughly equal to her height.
Wow. You must have lots of practice.
She continues working away at it, making a bit of a show of pounding the snow into shape with both her hands. Her entire upper body being put into it.
Eileen taught me how to make snowmen.
There's a bit of hesitation still, as if reminding herself that she shouldn't talk too much to the strangers suddenly hanging around her sister. Hopefully the fun of showing the experience might help distract her.
It sounds like you and Eileen are really close.
I don't get to play with her much now that she's moved out. I miss her when she goes away, but Mom and Eileen always argue when she's home.
I've noticed.
You could visit her back in Utah, maybe. I'm sure she'd like the company.
Dad says we will, but he's always got work. I want to see her paintings. She was always making them before she went away.
Her paintings are really pretty, aren't they?
Yeah, but Mom said it's not a real job, so Eileen gets mad.
What about Dad?
Dad said he thinks the same, but that they shouldn't fight so much over it.
Sounds like they don't get along very well.
Hey, can you make Eileen happier?
I'm working on it.
I'll certainly do my best.
Satisfied with the best answer I could drum up, she goes back to work on her snowman, little hands collecting some more snow to pat on. I might say that, but I don't really know where to begin, now that I think about it. She's done a lot for me, but when I think back to when we've been together, all I've been able to do around her is watch as she draws and paints. I'm just getting myself worried over her. As she says, Eileen's perfectly capable of looking after herself. Not like she needs me to be happy. Trying to stop myself from dwelling, focus on patting the head of the snowman some more, to make it a little less rectangular.
Do you paint too?
Not really. I just draw cute things.
I draw too! Can I show you my drawings later?
Sure, that'd be great.
As she beams a grin, I'm glad to finally be making headway with her. I never thought I'd be bonding through messing about in the snow. Have you shown Mom and Dad? They're always busy, so I can't always show them. My nanny's seen all of them though. She's nice. A nanny, huh? I suppose you don't get to live this nicely without some sacrifices. I wonder if Eileen was raised by a nanny too. I wonder if either of them ever really connected with their parents. As we work away on our creations, the door opens once more. Look around to see who it is. A familiar figure strides up. I do worry about her long boots and slippery snow, but she doesn't seem bothered.
Huh?
What are you two doing? Making snowmen. Don't say. Well, if you want some lunch instead of freezing out here, making snowmen all day, come in from the cold already.
Oh,
make him better. Eileen studies her work for a moment before reaching over toward me. Too confused to respond, I just stand there as Eileen's hand reach over and take my scarf in their grip. Unwinding it from my neck, she silently walks over to Eve's snowman and smartly wraps it around what's probably supposed to be the neck. That looks so cool. There. He'll be happier now that he's less cold. I'll still be here when you get back, so go and eat something. The show is starting, you know. The fact that she might be missing even a minute, she completely drops any attention she had on the snowman and stomps off as quickly as her restricted clothing allows. It's obvious Eileen has Eve wrapped around her little finger. All I'm left to do is stare at Eileen, pouting. You can grab your scarf back when Eve gets bored of making him. I was gonna use it on my own snowman.
Seriously?
I swear, you're worse than her sometimes. Oh, sound of Saturday morning kids shows fills the living room as I walk back in, each hand carefully balancing a bowl of cereal. Eve sits quietly, fully focused on watching television. Still something of a work in progress. She seems more content to let me hang around now. Even if she doesn't engage much. Maybe simply being friendly company is enough for her. Despite being the weekend, Eve's parents are out once again. This time they're with Eileen to check how her car is going. All the ways Eileen's home is different from my own. It's the sheer quiet that most gets me. With few cars around nor people nearby, there's only the odd boisterous bird outside to make noise. I can get used to small town life like this. My spacing out is interrupted by the main door shuts with a loud thud. Familiar fingers striding past.
Hey.
Welcome back. How's the car? It's fine. Riding out once Dad's finished poking at it, by the way. Sure, where are you going? We'll see. Finish your breakfast for now. I'll get you to close out and pack everything. It's a bit of a rush. Stuff sleep in my eyes from waking up. And she's usually a zombie at this time in the morning. Still standing around with bowls in my hand, I hold them out and look down, checking that I'm not crazy and did actually dress myself this morning. But I'm already dressed. Not for where we're going. We're going hiking! Yay! The quiet morning is only punctuated by the crunch of snow underfoot, the occasional birds chirping, and the jingle of items from our backpacks. Apart from the woman plodding ahead from me, and the footprints she leaves behind, all I could see are pine trees, as much snow on their branches as greenery. Ooh, and puffs of condensation from our breaths. The scenery is nice, at least. I'd hardly expect to be spending the day hiking through the forest when she dragged me out of the house. So far, it's been a pleasant way to spend the day. As tired as my legs may be, Eileen's pace doesn't falter. The hiking clothes she lent me hang off my frame. But I suppose that should be expected given our height difference. Not comfortable, though. And most of all, warm. Picked a good day for all of this. Not exactly warm, but at least it's not bitterly cold. She says this with all the care that one might give when looking out the window of the morning. Eileen really seems to be treating this as almost an everyday activity. The fact that we need bear spray out here also weighs on my mind. Apparently being Black Bear country, Eileen simply gives it in stride. Simply carries it in stride. Well, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode here. Same set of load. I'm doing the same thing again. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully, I will see you later.